Manchester United. One time they're going again. What a goal is screen! And a goal! Oh, Jimmy, please, has done it.
Better at this football club. There's a huge difference between being negative and being realistic. I just don't agree with you. You're totally wrong in my opinion. We're doing it again. We're getting carried away far too quickly.
Yes, welcome everybody to the Spurs review, hosted by me, as Sava suns himself off in Cape Verde, whilst we have to deal with the cold. I'm joined by an amazing panel. We've got Ashmatic. How you doing, my friend?
Wait a minute. You're back here. You're in the cold.
I'm in the cold.
You're in the cold.
It's still cold in Spain.
Bro, it's not real cold. What are you talking about? Yeah, man, it's not cold, man. You said it's cold, man. This is real cold. Look over here, man.
Degrees. Are we calling that cold? Is that fair?
I'll swap. I'll show you about cold, man. I got the heating on. I still got a hoodie on. It doesn't make no sense.
I've got a t-shirt. Does that count?
Yeah, you're probably in shorts underneath that.
No, I mean jeans. Jeans is fair. You good though, mate?
Well, I'm cold, man. I'm cold, bro. But other than that, yeah, I'm positive, bro. I'm still a little bit positive.
Good. Alan, time added on. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well. Not as cold as you guys. The missus has allowed me some heat in to do the show, so I'm all good, nice and toasty. So yeah, she's not being a Grinch just yet. But thanks for having me back on. Can't wait to get into the show after a very good performance.
Yes, definitely. Big up. And Alex, Mr. Box Office, is here to light up the chat. Everyone's gonna love it. How you doing, Alex? How you doing, mate?
I don't know what to make of what I've just seen today. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting show. I'm good. As always, mischief. And
Mischief is here.
Mischievous like I always am every single time, and that's it. So thank you for inviting me. Perchy, and let's get into the show.
Let's talk about the game. Let's start it off with that. What did everyone make of it? Because I thought of the first. Let's start with the lineup. Let's start there. What did everyone think of the lineup? Ash, I'll go to you first on it. Like, you saw the lineup. It was literally the only change was Bentancur coming out, obviously because he's injured, and Basuma coming in from after his suspension. Were you excited after seeing that lineup, or?
Yeah, I was. No, I was excited because man said it with his chest. He just came with chest. He said, "I'm not changing it. This is the way we play." So I was like, raw. I thought you might switch it up, bring a Højbjerg in there. I don't know. The fact that Dyer was completely out as well. He might have an injury. I don't know. But I just saw that lineup and I was like, youngsters on the bench. I said, yeah, that's my guy. I can get behind it. Whether we win, lose, or draw, like, he's going for his philosophy, his ideas, and how he thinks the team should play. And yeah, let's back this boy. Let's back this manager. Let's back the teams. So yeah, that's all.
Do you know what? It's a really good point. Exactly. I mean, I had the same thing. Alan, I'll come to you next. And look, we looked at the lineup and went, okay. I think there was a lot of reports coming out that Højbjerg was going to start, and I kind of, when I heard that, and I went, really, like, and then people were then saying that Richarlison's back. Is he going to start or not? again, sort of similar question. So we saw the lineup. Was it one of a lineup you went, do you know what? I fancy us today.
I would never say that I'd fancy us. I did predict twice that it would be a 3-2 to Spurs. I was almost right, but there we go. Look, I like the team, and then very quickly I found out, and I think we've all found out now, that Bryan Gil is not good enough to be in the Premier League or this club. He was like a chihuahua against Kyle Walker, absolutely destroyed, bodied. It was like Kyle Walker was taking his son to work with him. That's how bad it looked and all that. And look, Bryan Gil is a techie player. He'll do well in Spain or something like that, but he's not good enough for us. But with all the injuries, it's good to see him trying things rather than going for the same old people that aren't good enough, like your Højbjerg and all that. So it's good in a way. But yeah, it was the starting lineup I was hoping to see, but then also you get to see very quickly there are certain players that aren't good enough. So yeah, good team to start with. But then you also, I see what Ronnie's saying. Gil was like a kid he is, but this is a man's league. So I'm sorry, he's not good enough.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Alex, come to me. Let me know your thoughts on that lineup. Like for me, I think Alan really hit the nail on the head. I thought, listen, we went for the same lineup. I thought Bryan Gil really, yeah, I agree. I thought he did a lot of good stuff, but then his end product for me, not good enough for me. That's a bit of a worry, right? Especially when you're looking at squad players to go, come on, we need you to step up, right?
Bold. He was bold against Aston Villa. He stuck by his word, and he was bold against against Manchester City. Stuck by his word again. And for me, I don't know.
Sorry, wait? Hang on. Can I hear like? I feel like I can hear background noise or something like.
Yeah.
Like someone. It sounded like a police radio.
Yeah. Look, I'll come back. Just bear me a second. Bear me a second. I'll come back.
Okay.
I'll come back, Perchy.
Okay. No worries. Look, Alex has got the police radio like noise, that shit noise. Like, let's slightly move on. Like, let's move on quickly, say to the first half of football, and then we'll move on to the second half and stuff like that. And look, the first half, it started off like an explosion. Son scored 2 goals for both teams in the space of 9 minutes. Look, I'll talk quickly to that first goal. Right, the first goal, really good counter attack. The ball in from Coglou. Initially, when I watched it, he's messed that pass up, and then Son, just fair play to him, worked his absolute backside off to score the goal. You could argue maybe the keeper's got to do better for it. Alan, I'll come to you. Like, what were your thoughts as soon as that goal goes in? And talk to me about the second half. First half, sorry.
I was going to say second half. We're jumping. No, look.
Yeah, sorry, apologies.
No, it's fine. The counter attack. We haven't seen much of that from Spurs this season. A counter attacking goal, but it shows that we've got that in our locker as well as outperforming and passing and like keeping hold of the ball. Again, this is one of the rare moments where Gil actually done well, held out well, turned and found Coglou under pressure. If he only done more of that during the game, Coglou with a ball over the top, and Son just was it Gvardiol that he literally just absolutely destroyed?
Yeah, it was Gvardiol. He just bombed past him.
Exactly, and for the goal, look, people criticise Ederson. It's not a good goal. No, I'm sorry. Ederson's made the mistake. It's what is in his game. That's why he's not as good as other goalkeepers. People put him the same thing as Alisson. Absolutely not. Hit a ball straight at him and Ederson fumbled it into net. Look, it was a great counter-attacking goal. Typical Spurs, what we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years. And it's just good to see. The rest of the first half, Man City just obviously dominated. They did what Man City do, keep hold of the ball. We'll get into the other goals as we go along, but I think we rode our luck. We were 2-1 down. Only going at 2-1 down was a bonus. It gave the team. But if we'd gone down 3-1, 4-1, I think the second half is just a procession. But going in 1 goal down gave us the belief to be able to come back into the game. The good counter-attacking goal, good build-up play from Gil, who I've criticised, I know, and obviously Coglou, who I thought, until he went back on the wing in that midfield role, I think he looks at home in that midfield role. He's doing.
I agree.
Yeah, I think. But then it's got what do you do when Maddison comes back? Because he'll be number 10. Basuma, who we need to have a talk about for me. Does Coglou midfield? Does Kulu go into midfield now and we get a winger in January? I would go that route. I think Kulu's more at home in the midfield. But yeah, we'll get into it. But great counter-attacking goal. Good finish from Son. Good build-up play from Hill and Kulu.
Yeah, look, Alex, I'll come to you quickly, mate. And Alan again brings up another good point. Kulusevski, for me, I agree everything Alan said. I think you have to play him centrally. I think he gets very, very lost out wide and he's ineffective. For me, and Alan sparks a good point. When James Maddison does get fit, what do you do with Kulusevski? Do you play both of them in the middle? Like a sort of that Lo Celso kind of Maddison role with the two of them? Or do you have to put him back out wide, Alex? Because for me, I think you have to play him centrally. He's better centrally as like a number 10 style role, right? Do you think?
I mean, I need to answer the first question as well that you asked first hand. I think, but to answer your question about Kulu, I think he was the best player on the pitch. Best player on the pitch all day long. I said I've been calling for him to be in the centre for a long time. I've been saying that for a long time. He was dogged. He was getting down the ball. He was getting down the line. He was everywhere. He was getting tackles in. It's not that he was just getting tackles in. He was starting attacks off as well. He was like a Dembele, basically like a Dembele that we had under Poch. Absolutely fantastic. He was just causing so much problems. Yeah. And for me, it's competition. It's competition now. He shouldn't be on the right. He's not a right midfielder. That header was absolutely fantastic at the end of the match. Absolutely fantastic. And I think it just shows you when you but I mean, it's good to have great games like this. It's good to have great games like this. But really, for me, it's about then what we do next. You know what I mean? What does he do next? You know what I mean? To get better. You know what I mean? And competing with Maddison is what you need to do. When you've got players like Maddison, you need to compete, and that's what makes you get better. You know what I mean? On the performance, on this formation, I think he had no choice, and it was bold. Yeah, and he's just stuck by what he said. Now, I've said to you already, I need to still convince him that this guy's going to stick around, because I don't think he's going to stick around after 2 years, because he'll make a choice of whether he wants to move on to another team or he'll get sacked. But he stuck by his word in June. He stuck by his word in June. I've said, when everyone was criticising him against Fulham, against Chelsea, and Aston Villa, when he played that high line, I said, well, he needs time to adapt his system. And look what's happening. They're adapting to his system because they need to adapt to his system, because that is the only way he's going to play. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right? Liverpool don't change the way they play. No one complains about them, don't they? You know what I mean? Manchester City don't change the way they play. No one complains about Manchester City, don't they? You know what I mean? The thing that I've said all along, I said it's about the managers now. It's not about just the players. It's about the manager. Yeah? And Postecoglou is proving to us right now why managers and coaches are really, really important right now. I will say on this right now, and I'm not twerking for people. I ain't going big. I'm not trying to get a hit on my subscriber account, because I need to get to 1,000 subscriber. Best performance of the season by none, absolutely by none. Yeah, because we didn't have Van der Ven, we didn't have Romero. Yeah. Romero, that's always hot and hot under the color. But Suma didn't play well. Yeah, Gil, absolutely agree with you. Again, nowhere. You know what I mean? That's all I can say is that he does some good skill, but again, you need to do better. You know what I mean? And have some real strength about you. But when you've got someone like Emerson in defence, who, yes, he makes mistakes, but he did well. I'll give him that. You got Davis as well, right? You got troops like Kulu stepping up. Son scoring a fantastic goal in the first half. We kept to our guns, stuck to our guns at end of the first half, even though Manchester City should have scored. Yeah. We made Haaland look like above average John Carew again. You know what I mean? Again, without the goals. Again. And he looked frustrated. Look how frustrated he looked like. Look how frustrated he looked like. You know what I mean? Look how frustrated he looked like, at the end of the game, because he didn't score a goal. He didn't do anything. But I'll give him his due. He looked more better.
He missed a couple of sitters, I'll give you that.
He missed a couple of sitters, but he did set up Grealish, again. Why is he at Manchester City right now? Because at the moment, bruv, he's not looking good at the moment, by the way, yeah? And we've got again. No. Grealish. Yeah.
I thought he came on and did all right, Grealish.
For a player like Grealish, he can do more. But the point is, is that again, like I've shown you against Chelsea, we had Manchester City crumbling. Yeah. And if you don't believe me, what was Gary Neville saying at the end of the match? Yeah. What was he saying?
Well, look, Alex.
This is me saying this. This is Mr. Box Office saying this. Yeah, right. This is not me twerking for subscribers here or trying to get a quick count, quick bit up here. Yeah, this is me saying it for what I call it, what I see, because I don't do stats like you know what I mean. And Stell knows that, and especially Alan knows that as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially Ashmatic, my boy Ashmatic knows that as well, yeah? So I'm saying right now, that was the best performance of the season. And that's it. Back to you, Perchy. I'm done.
No, Alex, I agree with you. Stell, welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome aboard. Look, towards me, I think Spurs, in fairness, first off, rode our luck. City could have easily, if they wanted to, had finished their dinner. And it feels very similar to last weekend. Last weekend, Spurs in the first half didn't finish their dinner and got punished. This tonight feels like Man City not finishing their dinner and second half, Spurs punishing them. Look, mate, floor is yours. Let me know your thoughts because, listen, I'm massively thrilled with great result, by the way. So talk to me, your thoughts.
If I put it simply, Man City must be kicking themselves. They're not 5-1 up, 4-1 up by the end of the first half. They completely dominated us. We had that goal that we scored, which was a brilliant counter-attack. Mm-hmm. That was it, really. Every time Gil got the ball on the wing, kept losing possession. There was a couple of times, again, when we broke, where it's just a straight first time, second time pass to Son or Kulu, and Brian Hill is delaying it, and then he messes it up. Emerson Royale receiving the ball from the back. He's too slow to make a decision. Then he makes the wrong decision, or the first touch is in there, or the weight of pass is wrong. So there's a couple of players for me. I thought Brian Hill and Emerson Royale in that first half, even Ben Davies getting pulled out of position, but I don't expect them to be good, right? I don't expect Brian Hill, Emerson Royale, or Ben Davies to be good. I don't think any of them should be at Spurs. I know Brian Hill had a brilliant moment to set up the first goal where he didn't whack it out, he didn't clear it, he pivoted, spun, and released the ball for the counter-attack. You know, that's brilliant. That's what Ange ball is about. So, but I still don't think he's good enough. But second half, look, Ange changed it. He solidified the midfield a bit. We're a lot more composed. Although Two did an absolute shithousery moment where all he had to do was pass the ball to the left, and he tries to take on three players. I mean, of all the players to do that as well, Basuma, he's a good player. It was just. And that was just Spursy. But you know what? We stayed in the game. We took our chances. And like when we did the show last week, I predicted we'd draw because I just knew.
Did? Credit where credit's due.
Well, listen, there's a bit of luck with the prediction as well because Man City could have easily been 5-1 up, right? But I just knew.
Of course,
easily. But I just knew you can't keep playing the way we play and miss chances like this every single game. In fact, I said it with Ashmatic on, we were on a show, I think North London is ours on Thursday. And I was saying, you can't keep missing your chances every single time. Something has to land. And today it landed. We took our chances most of them. Really, we should have created some more, but some poor passing in the final third. So, look, we worked hard. We stayed in the game. We took our chances. We deserved the result because, like you said, when we didn't take them against Aston Villa, we had to take the L. So if we're going to take the L, we need to be credited for this. But for me, look, Perchy, I'm banging on about it every week, and I'm going to stick to what I keep saying. You've got to trust this manager with what he's doing.
I agree.
I know it's hard to watch at times, and I know it's like just clear it, just get it out. The thing is, I've come to the realization. I didn't in the first 10 games, but I've come to the realization now. This season isn't about results. Results mean nothing. Honestly, we are not playing for results. We're playing to try and win the game. We're playing to play our philosophy. But the most important thing is going to drill it into these players. This is how we do it until you become brilliant at it. And if you can't, I'm going to cut you and you will be replaced over time. So as long as we stick to it,
and our fans don't hit the panic button. I get why people want to criticize. If you want to criticize, do it. Everyone's allowed to criticize. But I just think it's a bit short-termism to criticize when it's not about the results anymore. I don't think it's about the results. I'm not saying we're playing to lose. You never set up to lose a game. You always try to win. But I think the priority this year is stick to what we're doing and it will come good. And I'll give you a good example of why I think this is the right way. Ten Hag, in a press conference a couple of weeks ago, he said, I don't have the players to play my way. So he changed it. Can't beat a shit Galatasaray team. Can't beat Newcastle away. Listen, he's abandoned his plan. And what's going on? They look awful. We haven't abandoned our plan. We don't look awful. We just don't quite have the technical ability in moments that lets us down, but that will come. And Andrew's doing the right thing. I'm fully behind him. And you know what? It's so freaking exciting because I can tell so many fans are coming for us and trying to use any reason. Oh, the high line. Oh, we don't clear the ball. Oh, the substitutions are bad. Oh, why is he not playing Dyer? There's no centre-backs, actual centre-backs on the pitch. And they're doing all that because they want us as fans to implode. They want us to buy into their narrative. Don't listen to them because I'm telling you, if we keep going down this road and Ange gets some proper backing, next season, we are going to give them hell. We are going to give them all. I've got no doubt in my mind. So, listen, we stopped the rot. We didn't lose 4 in a row, which would have been a really bad Opta statistic. The worst since 2004.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been the only team in history to have scored the opening goal and lost 4 games in a row. So on that part, you're absolutely right. Still, bang on. Yeah. Look, Ash, I'll bring you in on this one here for a second because I think it's a really good point what Stel makes about moving forward. Because listen, this is what I've been. I always put my position. Everyone kind of thinks that I'm negative and always like. My position has always been this season's a bit of a free hit where we go. I don't really care where we finish. Everyone kind of went, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I don't care because I think it's long term for me. This system, and it has to be long term, and the fans have to get behind it being a long term thing because the manager is playing the way we want to play. Granted, tick." But we need players, right? And it is January going to be so crucial now. We'll kind of move slightly on to January because, we need recruitment and recruitment badly, right? And has this club changed in a way that they will recruit right for this manager? That's the question, isn't it?
I hope so, because you can see we were the creators of our own problems in that first half, especially because
we were.
All of their chances didn't come from them, tearing us open and playing through us and that type of tactical. It was more as the full-backs and centre-backs dwelling on the ball and passing where a pass wasn't on. For example, I think Pep got it spot on. He knew that we like to play our fullbacks in the pockets and we like to invert them quite a lot. And they basically made Doku and they made Foden play a little bit more narrow. Normally they hug the touchline. Yeah. That's City ball. But they made them invert a lot more. And so that out ball that we normally have was non-existent. So when Emerson Royale's on there, what he does is he takes a touch, he opens his body up and he looks. And then when he sees nothing's on, he's like, all right, hang on. I need to turn again. So he takes an extra touch. Taking that extra touch just puts pressure on your team. So I think when we're recruiting in January and we're looking for centre-backs to kind of be a replacement, not a replacement, but to add competition to your Mickey van der Vens, your Romeros, we're going to have centre-backs that can maybe pick that ball up from uncomfortable positions or times when we're being pressed heavily. And they're going to be able to carry that ball at times. And at times they're going to be able to maybe find a pass that's beyond our fullbacks that maybe come inside or whatever. They're going to be able to find our wingers. Because sometimes you need a centre-back can either bring the ball up from at the back or they can switch play and just open up the team and do it with confidence. Certain times we got the ball. And as I said, passes weren't on. We looked a bit shaky and they were pressing us and we just kind of... We folded. So, yeah, I think that's the reason why. And we all said it as fans. We need at least 2 centre-backs. At least 2.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. No one no one could have like prophesied that we would like lose so many players, especially at the back, this early on in the season. And I think for that reason, I thought the club thought maybe, yeah, we've got one centre back. They tried to go for Bournemouth's Kelly, but obviously they put the price up. They said, no, we want more than 25 mil, I think it was. And Liverpool went in for them as well. And they were like playing hardball. So we were like, you know what? We're not going to pay more than 25 mil for Kel. We'll wait till January. We're going to pay hardball too. But it actually backfired on us for us not taking that extra step or not having a plan B and looking for another centre back to come in that is of quality to kind of add that competition for Romero or Van der Ven either side. Do you know what I'm saying? Because then I think if Van der Ven and Romero was in that team against City, whoo, that result might have looked, or even that first half performance may have looked a little bit different because the way we would have transitioned out of that first part of the attack, we would have been able to push up the field and answer more questions, in my opinion. I could be wrong.
Absolutely. Look, Alex, I'll come to you quickly for this one as well. Okay, go on.
It's not nothing against you, Ashmatic, yeah. But I don't really like this narrative when we're saying, oh, when we get our top players back, it was going to be better. This was going to be a hard game with our good players. One and two, I just think at the moment it's a squad game, and I think we need to start thinking that it's a squad game. And I think that's the way Postecoglou is thinking of it right now, and why he did what he did against Fulham. You see what I'm saying in that Carabao Cup. You see what I'm saying? It's all coming way back to the circle. What he's been trying to do from the very very get go. You know what I mean? So I don't think because we all know what Romero's like. He's a hothead, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I just think with the team that we had at the moment, yeah, I think you could say maybe Maddison when it maybe made an impact, yes, but I just think it's very. I don't like that whole thing about us saying, oh, well, if we had our top players, Newcastle have got half a team out and they're still playing really well. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I think for me, it's we need to stop this. And again, I'm not having to go at Ashmatic because Ashmatic does talk more. It does talk a lot of sense sometimes, a lot of the time as well. So I do see what he's saying, and he's not the only one saying this. But I think we need to stop this narrative of saying, "Well, if we have our top players out, if our top players back in, we would have had a better chance of beating Man City." I think with the players that we have at the moment, they all need to step up. And Kulu and the Celso, let's give him some credit as well. Stepped up, you know what I mean, and that's what we need every single season. You know what I mean, because that's the only way you're going to do well. That's the only way you're going to do well if everyone's competing. You know, that's the reasons why you've got teams like Arsenal and Manchester City doing well at the moment, and Liverpool doing well at the moment because they have players that are competing for the top spots. You know what I mean? They don't let it down, Alex, and that's it.
What I would say on what Ashmatic said, and he makes a good point though. Let's be honest. I don't think we make as many defensive errors as we did in that first half if we have Van der Ven and Romero in the back four. Let's be honest. Emerson.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And we'll divert to Emerson for a second. I thought he had an awful first half. I thought he was a deer in headlights and stuff. Just he didn't know what to do. He was misplacing the basics, right? And just to touch on what Ashmatic's saying, I think, do you have a better chance against Man City? Of course you do.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there. To be honest, you do make a good point. I think what I'm trying to say is that I'm not having a go at the point.
Alex, if Maddison or Perchy receive the balls on half those counter attacks, we're creating a goal scoring opportunity.
The
amount of misplaced moments.
You're betting on now Maddison coming back fully fit at the moment. Van der Ven coming back fully fit. You know what I mean? Yeah, Romero will be fully fit because he's been suspended. But you're betting on those players right now to come back the same that they were before. They're not going to be the same. You know what I mean? They might know what they're going to be doing, but the injury's going to affect them. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying at the moment. I'm just basing it on what I'm seeing at the moment. I think we've done well. Emerson, yes, he made mistakes, but let's be honest here. He did well for what he was doing. Yeah, for the level he is, he did well. Yeah, I'm not.
Really?
I'm not saying. Well,
What do
yeah,
you mean?
yeah, but I'm not. Listen. I'm not. I'm not a fan of Emerson. I'm not. But let's look at it. The situation. Postecoglou made a choice of putting him in central defence, and it has worked. It looked better than having Dyer in defence right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, because we didn't have a other solution. Dorrington's obviously not ready at the moment. Yeah.
Alex,
So
Alex,
you know,
is it not a case of it's better than Dyer, but it's not working?
no, it's not. Yeah, but the thing is, what else
Because
does
you
he
said it's
have
working.
though?
I don't think it's working. I just
I,
don't
I
think
don't
there's
think
another
it's
I don't
choice.
working.
think you've got. I don't think you've got a choice. But the thing is, though, I think it's also important that the main thing is that the strikers score the goals. I think that's the
100%.
point that I think
You've got to take your
the
chances.
strikers need to score, be clinical. I think that's why it worked today. Why it didn't work against Aston Villa.
But,
You know what I mean?
but Alex, it didn't work today. We conceded 3 goals, and we probably should have conceded 8 if Man City could finish their chances, we should have conceded 8 today. So it didn't work. The only way it looks like it worked is because we nicked a point out of it. We nabbed a point, rightly so. We deserved it in the end. Like, we worked hard in that second half, but that first half, Man City, if Haaland missed 2 sitters, like he doesn't miss sitters, and so when we say, oh, it worked, we're only saying it because Man City missed chances. My point being is they don't miss those big chances. We go into that break 5-1 down. Alan, do you agree?
I'll be absolutely honest. We're having to do with a makeshift back line. I get that, and it's not going to be the same. I'll be absolutely honest, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Emerson Royale was absolutely horrendous today. I was going to swear, but I stopped myself.
Say we don't want to lose some monetization, my friend.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I held back. He was absolutely critical today. Just go back and watch that second goal. When it comes to the play into that, defense is static because of Royale, and then he's in behind. Davies is there trying to do something. The ball then goes obviously from Alvarez to Foden, who's completely free because Emerson Royale was completely out of position, nowhere near. They're playing out from the back. The amount of times he gave the ball to them, not just him, the Suma done it as well. It was absolutely dreadful in across the back. Man City another day would have smashed us. They just didn't have their shooting boots on. But we didn't have our shooting boots on last time, and we lost to Villa. But also, in the game, we had our shooting boots on. Those goals were which were because of our defence against Villa being too far back because they're not central defenders. I get that. But I'm sorry, they're not good enough. The whole thing, well, they do a job if they're there. That's how we end up with these people here for 7, 8, 9 years. They do a job when called upon.
Agreed.
They do not do the job called upon. People today that were absolutely shocking, need to be gone, are Emerson Royale, even Davies, Brian Hill. You could even say that although Skip and Hueber came in, as soon as you take off Lo Celso, I'm not sure why I took Lo Celso off. I would have kept playing Lo Celso because I think there was chance for balls on to cause more problems. They're not even good enough. This whole thing of, when they're called upon, they do a job or they do all right in your game and all that, it leads us to why we have players here for 6, 7, 8 years that aren't good enough. And then why are we going, how do we get rid of this dead wood? We've got to get over that mindset. Just be like, you're not good enough. Get out. Get new players in.
You've got a good point, and you list a load of players. I'll move on to my move on.
Can I just come back to that? I get what you're saying, Alan, but the point is, we're basing it on this game. We're basing it on this game. Yeah. Unfortunately, because you said yourself on other shows, on your show, you said we can't get rid of those players, right? Right. So we've got to do something with them, right? He's doing something with them at the moment. Yeah. I don't want Emerson in my team. I don't think Davis should be in our team at all. But the thing is, though, at the moment, he's using those players. Yes, he wasn't that great, but what were we expecting? You see what I'm saying? Dorrington's not ready. No. Dorrington's not ready, right? Okay, because if he was ready, he would play him right now, right? He would play him right now. Yeah, Ashley Phillips wasn't ready. Yeah, regardless what we were saying, we said we want Ashley Phillips in the team. He's not ready. Yeah, okay. So he's put a solution out there, right? And that's it, right? So I'm giving them credit, right? Because at the end of the day, and what Ashmatic said was absolutely spot on what he's saying. And what I don't agree with is that we need to think about the squad thing. That's what I'm saying at the moment. But what he's saying is that we wouldn't see the mistakes from Van der Ven, maybe. We wouldn't say the mistakes from Romero, yes. But
we're seeing less mistakes from them than we are with the lads we've got at the moment.
But what he did, okay, he still kept himself going, and that's it. And that's what I'm saying at the moment. Yes, we need to get rid of them. Yeah, but this is where we can talk about what Scott Munn's job is. Yeah, we're bringing Scott Lang, Johan Lang, and what he's with the data led. Yeah, and we'll see what happens there. But the point I'm making is he's making the best of a situation, and I'll say right now, I'll give him credit because it was the best performance of the season for Tottenham Hotspur with the situation it is at the moment.
Just come back, Alex.
So I can't hear this, man. Like, Alex, yeah, go for it, Alan. I just want to say one thing, and that's this. For me, yes, Emerson gave his all, right? Emerson gave his all. I agree. He's still shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
He's not good enough for the way we want to play.
I'm not disagreeing with you, though. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying I'm giving the guy credit because the fact is, well, he's been put in a situation where because he's been an essential defender. Right, Davis and Emerson did hold their own. Yeah, we could have actually got thrashed. Yes, they could have scored goals. Yes.
I give him credit for effort, but that's
yeah, we've got to.
Sorry,
I've got to give him credit for
I'm sorry. Credit for effort, like professional football players. If we start giving credit for effort, like what are we doing here? Like I expect effort. That's the minimum requirement.
No, he never gave up till the end. He worked his ass off, that kind of thing. I hear what you're saying. It's minimum.
I think we've got to give credit to the manager on that one. That's what I'm saying. But anyway,
as a footballer, we can't play the way we want with players like him. They just don't.
Agreed. Bang on. I agree.
Can I just quickly come back at Alex for something? Again, you said something incorrect, which I need to correct you on. You're saying that I've said on my channel that we need to do something with these players. No. I said if you're going to give youth a chance, you need to do something with the youth. Jay on this channel, on my channel, is the one who normally says about Emerson Royale does jobs this and the other. I've said for seasons, Emerson Royale, Davies, Dyer, all these people over 6, 7, 8 years. How I think even me and Stell discussed it. In next year or at the end of this year, doesn't Dyer qualify for a testimonial? That's how bad we are with our thing. This is ridiculous. I don't say you should give these players a chance or find a thing to do with them. They're not good enough. Get them gone. It's other people that say that. I say if you're going to find if you're going to have problems with this, I would prefer to see youth given a chance. If they're not good enough and the Ange isn't ready to play them, then that's fair enough. But you just said that I was saying about giving Emerson Royale and Davies things to do. No, I don't think they're good enough for Spurs. I haven't thought they've been good enough for Spurs for a while, and I want them gone. So I just had to correct you on that because you said something that weren't true.
Yeah, no, listen. That's it. Ash, look, well, let's go on to the subject of Emerson Royale. I thought he was awful today, but I also want to add in there was another player that I thought was really, really poor today and didn't have a very good game. Was Yves Bissouma, a player that I really, really like, by the way. I really rate Bissouma, but today I thought he was non-existent in the game. And let's be honest, he's the reason we conceded that third goal, right?
I think it's clear to see with Yves Bissouma, he's a player that he needs form, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He clearly was overthinking today. And when he misses a game or two, it shows. Do you know what I'm saying? Him having that suspension and him not having a run of games, him coming off the back of bad form as well, didn't help because sometimes he can overcook it. When he does his quarter turns or he spins on the half turn, he looks amazing. But when it goes wrong and they catch him out and they dispossess him, then that's when everyone's like, oh my days, look at, because he's right in the middle of the pitch and he's got the two centre backs just behind him. If he does anything wrong, it looks absolutely horrendous just because of the position he's. If he had played anywhere else, I think he might get away with it. But in that kind of, I call it the first phase of attack, that kind of transition. You know, when you get that ball, he kept getting caught up. They knew to press. They knew when to press. He might be the first man or the second man, but then the third man will catch him up. And then it was just times when you just play it simple. And his awareness for me was a problem. If he kind of looks around him, then when he receives that ball, he's not making that bad decision, A, and B, he might either take his time when he needs to, or because sometimes he was miscuing passes because he's hurrying it. He's hurrying it. He doesn't want to make a bad pass, so he's hurrying it. He knows the right pass, but he's rushing it. So then the pass goes off for a throw. Then other times, he's not doing it quick enough. He's a bit lazy. He was flat-footed in that first half. He wasn't on his toes. He wasn't opening his body up. He didn't look like he wanted the ball. He looked a bit off if that makes sense. He didn't look himself like he was on his game. And I thought maybe Basuma was going to be that big player, you know, that big game player where, you know, against Arsenal, he stood up. Against Man United, he stood up. Like, he got 2 man of the matches back to back. So I thought maybe he just needs a bit of pressure and he needs to feel like he's the man for him to step up.
Yeah.
But today, it was like that first half, he got it wrong. And in the second half, I didn't think he was too bad. But obviously, when he made that mistake, I just thought unforgivable. I just screamed my head off when he. I'm a massive fan. Go on.
Ash, do you remember earlier on in the season? I'll give you an example. Luton Town, where he got the sending off, right? You know, pick up the ball, bully a player, shimmy, and then drive us forward. I find now he picks up the ball and he either pops it off to the left, to the right, looks forward, turns and goes back. The Basuma, like the first kind of 8-9 games, he'd drive us forward. Even against Arsenal, he'd pick it up. He was driving the team forward. It's almost like, you know what? I don't think he's a number 6, Ash. I don't think he's actually number 6. I think he needs to play in the 8.
But you can say that, but at the same time, when I looked at Bentancur, because Bentancur played in the 6 against Villa, I couldn't tell if Bentancur was a 6 or 8, and that's what I felt about Basuma. And I feel like
they do rotate.
They do interchange. That was my point. That's what I was going to say with Basuma. I thought when Basuma steps up, like you say, he drives, and that's when he's not thinking. He's got less time to think, when he's just being himself. And the manager just says, "Go on, look. If you make a mistake, I will take that responsibility." I felt like he was playing within himself and he was overthinking certain situations. And that's why he wasn't pushing into 3 players, or he runs beyond the man to receive a pass, does a half turn and does whatever he does.
That aggression. That
aggression was lacking. It was lacking. Yeah. It felt like even certain challenges, it felt like if I get there too late, I pick up a card. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when like your doggy picked up the yellow card, like he was never going to beat Foden to that pass. And he still rushes in, but yellow card. But overall, your doggy doesn't look as timid or shy as Basuma did in that game. Do you know what I'm saying? And you need a Basuma to be assertive. You need him to be sure of himself, even if he does pick up a foul here and there. You just need him to have that complete freedom. And I reckon Ange was getting into them in the first half, saying like, "Why are you guys not playing football? Just play football. Play it. Because as bad as..."
Do you think they're worried? Do you think they're worried that the defense is so exposed to having 2 players that shouldn't be in the centre-back position that there's this kind of instinct to just drop a bit back and protect them because they're worried? Because I've seen this. I know Mourinho and Conte played a bit more pragmatic football, but there were games under those managers where they're saying, go forward, go forward. You can see them on the touchline screaming, and they'd still kind of, you know, go back into their shell.
I think personally it's them playing the occasion. Sometimes you just need to forget all of that. Just be free. Just play your game and you'll be fine. Sometimes, because Kulusevski said it, when he came off and they gave him player of the match, they gave him the award, they asked him, "Oh, what was the difference between the first half and the second half?" He said, "You know what? Sometimes we're just in our heads." And the manager got into us. He said, "Just play football. Just go and enjoy it." Do you know what I mean? And as soon as they did that, then we started playing. And then I think you guys have said it already. Højbjerg came on and is maybe not as technical as he is. What he did was, I think, I see more as a controller, because where we were trying to be direct and be quick and have that quick tempo passing, he slows it down a little bit, where we might take maybe 3 or 4 passes before we make the killer pass, which kind of lost control, which kind of gave up City's control, I think. Because when he went to Brian Hill, we lost it. Certain times when other players had it, we lost it because we were too hurried in possession. When he got into that midfield, it was like, all right, cool. Højbjerg's instant thought is maybe let me pass it here, let me pass it there, maybe do a few short passes before we go forward. And I felt that's where City lost control. And I think that's the reason why they brought Rico Lewis on, to gain control back in midfield, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then when Ange saw that, he was like, right, let me bring Skip on for an extra body, because we're getting slightly tired and we're losing that battle in midfield. Let me bring on another midfielder that has a different...
Skip did all right, you know. Skip did okay when he came on.
I thought he had an all right game when he came on, Skip.
He did all right when he came on, Skip.
He did what he needed to do. And I think that's because people were like, why did you bring off Lo Celso when he was so like creative? He was the one that was making all the forward passes, making all that.
Is it because you think he was good?
Did Ange slightly shot, guys? Did Ange go a little bit pragmatic? Is this what we're saying? Is this what we're saying?
I think Yeah, I
When he
think
took
what
off
he's saying.
Lacelso and on comes Hojbjerg and
He
Skip.
took Lacelso off at 2-2, didn't he?
Yeah. I think what I agree with what Ash is saying.
Yeah, but
I
Skip
think
came on at
Alan's-
3-2. Skip came on at 3-2.
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
agree
okay.
what Ash is saying. I agree with what Ash is saying because and what Alan said as well, because he said a little bit as well. I wasn't happy when the Celso came off, because I think the Celso for me was. I think we could have at least got. I think we were Manchester City were crumbling. They were crumbling, and that's big for me to say that right now because you saw some of the players and you saw you know when a team's crumbling when the manager's getting a bit like. And you see the main striker getting a bit like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Getting really rattled a
That's
little
the
bit.
banter,
You see,
Alex. That's because they know
huh?
they're going to get bantered of not beating a team with Chicken Royale and Ben Davies at
And
centre back.
that's what I'm
The
saying. You can see it.
banter fear got them.
You can see it, and that's why I saw it against Chelsea again. I saw it against
They know what's
Chelsea.
coming, man. They know
You
what's
know,
coming.
you saw a little bit of panic, and you see it, and you saw the whole thing after we scored the equalising goal with Kulusevski. And Manchester City could have got a one-on-one with Grealish. I think it was Grealish, or was it Grealish with a one-on-one? And the referee pulled it back. You saw how angry they looked.
Haaland was
Yeah,
full, wasn't
Haaland. Yeah. It looked how angry they looked because they knew that was really crucial. You know what I mean? But
I agree with Matt's point, by the way. Sorry to cut you, bro.
yeah,
Because I think the reason why they took Lacelso off was to manage his minutes. Remember, we haven't got too many creative midfielders at the moment. And I feel like the reason why so many teams are getting injuries is because it's the Premiership so fast paced now. So much energy, so much like Bielsa Leeds team, they used to get injuries all the time because they used to play so aggressive, so energetic, so like front footed that a lot of the players would pick up injuries. So I think that's the reason why we always saw Maddison come off at like 80th minute or 75th minute, and Son as well. We used to take them off to kind of manage their legs, just to try to stop them from getting injuries. And I think that's the reason why he may have also brought Lo Celso off, just for that reason, because he needs to preserve him for like maybe a West Ham, or we've got Newcastle coming up, etc. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Ash, I think some of our injuries have come from tackles, though. I think some of our injuries. You're right. There are injuries that we're getting from. But like,
But I think
Madison had his ankle taken out. Madison has his ankle taken out. Basuma, Matty Cash just wiped him out. I think some are exactly what you said, but I think maybe a third of our injuries are just really, really shit luck. It's just
I mean, I don't really want to go into injuries too much, but I do think that Skip doing well today, I think it just shows you that he needs to do more in the attacking sense. You know what I mean? Because I think we saw a little bit against Barcelona.
Though, is he?
Well, no, but the thing is, though, Perchy, if he's going to survive in this team, he's got to have a little bit of attack about him.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone.
Well,
if
he does go, yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? But the thing is, though, if he's going to survive in this team, he's going to have a little bit towards the opposition box. You know what I mean? Like McTominay for Manchester United when he was doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? So because he can't just be a defensive player because it's not going to work with Postecoglou. You know what I mean? Because
guys, I don't think Skip is gone. I think Skip is on a 1 year trial. I think most of these players are on a 1 year trial. The players that are gone, it's clear. Dyer, that's it. He's gone. If you want evidence that he's shut out, that's two big games, Villa and City, where we are crying out for a centre back, and he's been shut out.
I think the Wolves game was done. I think after the Wolves game, it was done after that, to be honest with you.
Mate,
and I'm glad.
After 9 years, we finally got a manager that's accepted the truth about this guy. That he's done. But the rest, I think, are on trial. I think the rest have all got a chance of, if they can perform this season, like Lo Celso, he's taking his chances at the moment. He's performing. He's scoring goals.
I agree, but what I will say before we move on, we've got 300 people in here and 128 likes. Come on, guys. That is Eric Dyer defending likes. Smash the likes button. Let's get over 200 now. And make sure you go and subscribe to these amazing people and subscribe to Football Heritage TV as well. On the road to 13K will be absolutely amazing. Look, I'm going to ask a question. I want to get your thoughts and takes. We'll start with, it's a simple one. Who was your man of the match and why? Alan, go on, start away with that one. And I want to get your feelings on that.
For me, I think it's Coglou. I think in the middle, I think in the first half, anything that we did good went through him. Controlling the ball, good forward play. getting stuck in, breaking up players well. I just think even when he went to the wing, he came out the game more. Like he weren't as involved in the game, but he also was still causing problems on that right or down that left-hand side for them. For me, I think he was the man of the match for Spurs. I don't think I'm trying to recall if anyone else. Lo Celso, I think, is in with a shout because anything creative came from him as well. But I just think Kulu in the middle has kind of rediscovered his form and realised that that's probably where he's best suited. There's a headache for Ange to sort out. And, it's one of them where it's a good headache for him to sort out. But Kulusevski, for me, I think he gets, I'll be honest, I see from a lot of fans, he gets a lot of stick for coming inside. And I'll give him stick as well. But you got to understand, I think we always come inside because they've been instructed to do that. But as the midfielder, I think he was at the heart of everything we did well today.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree. Listen, I've been very, very critical of Kulusevski, but I think out wide he's very ineffective. I agree. Down the middle, he's brilliant. Ash, what about yourself, mate? Who's your man of the match, and is it the same? Do you agree with Alan?
Yeah, I have to agree with Alan. Watching those goals back, he was at the heart of most of the goals today. I just thought in the middle, not just his technical ability, because I thought his first touch was excellent. It was able to move us up the pitch by being our out ball. So when they gave the ball to him, he was able to look left or right, and he had options, and he was able to pass those balls with great accuracy. But I thought his pressing in that middle of the park, I think that he was the reason why we were winning the balls back in the first half, especially. His pressing, that goes unnoticed. He's like his engine, up and down, not just like on the flanks, but also in the middle of the pitch. And you need that. So a part of our defense is actual pressing from high up the pitch. And I think he did that very well. And we don't always mention that. So yeah, I think Kulu for me was man of the match for that. But also I want to give Son a mention because people were putting a lot of dirt on his name, but I don't want to swear. So I just thought today, like, his movement was really good. Had he been picked out earlier, I thought he would have got more goals. Sonny, he works really hard and he presses hard from the front too. So I just think there's a little mention too, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Stel, let me know your thoughts on it. Because who was your man of the match? Was it the same Kulu or Son? Son's a good mention there. Like, what do you think?
So tight. I think his son's work rate off the ball is immense. Like, he's shutting down. He keeps pressing to the end. Like, his work rate is probably the best in the team. I think he's one of the most hardworking players we've got. A lot of it goes missing because we're focused on the play, not off the ball. But yeah, it's hard to disagree with Alan and Ash. Kulu today, he stepped up and Kulu.
Yeah, that's for Alex. Same question. Who's your man of the match? Are we collectively saying Kulusevski here?
Yep, 100%. This needs to be better though. Needs to be better. Needs to do better. Don't do what Fernandez does. Don't turn up for one game and don't turn up for another game. You know what I mean? You need to do more. Just to say something back. I love you, Ash. By the way, this is all love. By the way, Ash. Song deserved the criticism. He deserved the criticism. Yeah, because we all know that he should have. This needs to be. Now he's captain. Now the spotlight's on him. You know what I mean? So for me, it was fair criticism because he's the captain now. So now, games like this, good. West Ham now, you know what I mean? Because, I think the difference is now with Man City and West Ham, Man City have won the treble. Now, trying to do better than the treble is very, very difficult. You know what I mean? You got that pressure now, and I think that's what Man City are going through at the moment. Trying to do better isn't very easy when you've won the treble last season. Trying to do something better than that. West Ham, though, when you saw them today, I saw that game today against Crystal Palace, you should be beating them. You should be beating
agreed.
Them. You know what I mean? So, so it's now see how it goes. But for what, I don't know who made the point. I think Stelios made the point. This season is still a build. It's about learning the way to play. You know what I mean? And that's what we're learning at the moment. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we're starting to get to know Postecoglou a little bit more. Like, you know, I'd said from the very, very get-go, I need to get to know him. I wasn't jumping at the bandwagon after the first 10 games. And now we're seeing a little bit of a fruit of why he's sticking to his gums. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, but to answer your question, yeah, Kulu all day long. He was absolutely fantastic. He was like another Dembele.
Yeah, you did mention that earlier. No, that's true. Yeah,
and
he works hard.
Whoa.
Nah, he works his backside.
Wait. Still. You know, Mr. Box Office don't go over the top. I'm just saying.
I'm
just describing what he played like. That's all I'm saying, and that's it.
He's not the same.
And again, this is not having a go at my boy Ashmatic, because Ashmatic does speak a lot of truth. He spoke a lot of truth there.
He didn't say anything to Ash.
Musa Dembele is Bisto gravy, right? Lo Celso is probably more of a veganish type gravy, bit of a hybrid. You know, Moose is the real deal, man. He's an unbelievable midfielder. Like, I don't think we can compare them to Musa Dembele. He bossed midfields, man.
Well, he played what? Listen, we played the champions of Europe, yeah, the champions of the English League, and he looked He looked so good.
If he does that for a season,
this is the same guy that I said was more like a fullback than an attacking midfielder.
If he does it for a whole season, then we can have a debate about Musa Dembele setting.
Yeah, I'm just comparing it to what I see. Like, just for one game.
No, he's not. He's not anywhere.
He's nowhere near. But I'm just saying, he was like.
Well, do you drop Maddison for Lo Celso then? If he keeps on playing this Dembele role, do you drop Maddison?
You mean Kulu?
No.
You're saying
I would, because if he keeps on performing like this, Maddison needs to step up and make sure he gets, performs better than him. That's what a top team does.
Why can't we play both? Why can't we go with two attacking mids and one?
But it depends on what. It depends on how it works, doesn't it? But the point I'm making is there's competition for places. Look at Doku for Manchester City. Yeah, he plays well. Guardiola says, well, he's playing better than Grealish. Grealish comes back from injury. He's like, Grealish, sorry, mate, but Doku's doing better than you. You need to do better than him. Simple.
But that's what top teams do. But here's the question, though, Alex. Here's the question on that point. I'll flip it. Is Kulusevski playing well enough? Yes, I think he had a great game today. I thought he was brilliant. But is he playing good enough that Maddison doesn't go straight back into this team right now? For me, I don't think he's playing good enough right now.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not playing out of his skin for me to go, okay, he's putting a question mark on James Maddison's position. For me, once Maddison's fit, he goes straight back into the team right now.
I agree with you there, because it's only just one game. It's been 2 games, really. You know what I mean? Aston Villa was okay, he was good. But yeah, I do agree with you. If he outperforms these games that Maddison's not playing, well, Maddison needs to fight for his place. He does. You know what I mean? But that's what a top team does. You get what I'm saying? You know? That's my argument here. You know, I'm not saying Kulusevski's better than Maddison. I think Maddison's is a more of maverick, and he's a more old school player that you saw in the 90s, and he's got more of a football brain, yes. But I'm saying that if we're gonna be competing with the top teams, you need mentality of you need to fight for your place. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to say. That's the argument I'm bringing up today on the stream today. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
I thought Brennan Johnson, a lot of people again were calling him out at the start, but I thought Brennan Johnson, I think he's been a good signing.
He's done all right.
I'll be real.
Do you know what? When Brennan Johnson plays on the right, he's a lot better than he is on the left.
No. Look, guys, I will give him credit for the time that he got behind. He took the ball well and beat Gvardiol for pace, and then cut the ball back where it almost led to an own goal. Apart from that, I'll be honest.
What about a cross? For Kulu?
He set up the equaliser, yeah. He set up the equaliser.
What about for Kulu? You forgot about that?
He set up Kulu. Well, there you go. 2 things, guys. Round of applause.
It's quite a big thing, though, right? It's quite a big thing.
That's what I gave him a
Good ball in, though, to be fair.
You didn't think he played well against Villa?
I don't think he's at the level, guys. I don't.
Serious?
Yeah.
Is it
By
too
the
early?
by the way, this is the same guy
is
that
it too
defended
early?
the Liverpool game, by the way. The same guy that defended the Liverpool game, by the way, Alan, by the way, saying, "Oh, we won. We won. We won." You know what I mean? So
We did win.
this
Wait,
guy's
we
not
did-
that
wait,
harsh.
sorry,
Let's
we
be
did
honest.
win,
You
though.
know what I mean?
I wanna ask Alan a
Let's not
question.
get harsh. You know
Wait,
what I
hang
mean?
on, what?
You know?
I
Sorry.
wanna
I'm
ask-
always
I
gonna
wanna
have
ask
that dig.
Alan a
I'm always
question.
gonna have that dig at Alan. But anyway, moving on. Sorry.
Won the
Alan,
game.
Alan, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think it's too early to judge? Like, you know how I said I think there's players that are on a 1-year trial. Do you think maybe we should wait to the end of the season then judge him before we say like now he's not good enough? Or do you think you've made up your mind, you've seen enough kind of?
No. What I'm saying is at the moment, I think people are going too quick on him, saying, "Oh, he's this, he's that." And I haven't seen nowhere near enough of him. I don't think he's good enough. But I'm not one of these that go because I don't like somebody now. If they obviously grow and get better, if by the end of the season he's putting in performance after performance in the team, then I'll stand corrected. I just don't see at the moment the way people are going over the top. I'm not saying he can't get there. There are people that just on social or like these channels that will be like, "I don't like this player, so he'll never be good enough." No, he's just not. I think people are going over the top with him way too soon. He's done bits that I think he's done well, but yeah, I just don't think he's as good as what people are giving him credit for. But time will tell.
Yeah, no, listen, I think I will with Brennan Johnson. We're talking about Brennan Johnson for a second. For me, I've always stand fair with it all, and I said I'll judge him when he plays in his predominant position. I feel like him playing on the left, he's very similar to when I see Kulu on the right. Very ineffective. I want to see him on the right, and I saw some good things with him out on the right. I saw him taking on a Gvardiol. I thought it was brilliant. Yes, he got the assist. He was out on the left when he got the assist and good cross into the box. We need to see more of his blinding pace like we did see in that first half. I want to see a lot more of it. I think you can get the best out of him if you exploit his pace. And as I say, that big up to Matt Coppin, who's put in a super chat and just said, Brennan Johnson is a unique player for his pace, is frightening. I think that's the key bit, but we have to utilize it right. We need to see him taking on players more, very similar to what Doku was doing in the first half. Want to see him taking on fullbacks a lot more, right? Do we agree?
Yeah.
I don't think we should be calling him BJ. That's all.
I agree.
Yeah, that as well.
Unbelievable. Brilliant. Unbelievable. But look.
Yeah, you don't want to sentence like BJ is amazing or something. You don't want to do that,
Yeah. BJ looks good.
Unbelievable.
Brennan.
Brennan.
Oh, what is happening? What is going on? You lot have just lost a train of thought. Brilliant. Look, guys,
I think with the midfield, if we were playing a different team and we've got the midfield's cooking, then I think they find Johnson more times than enough. I just think that City game. All right, let's. You know what, West Ham, we'll see. Because like on a bad game against Wolves, he ends up scoring a goal. What was the other game he played and he got assists, but he didn't do much. Like he's not doing much, but he's still contributing to our attacking returns. So I
get your point.
I don't mind that if he didn't have a poor game and still like assist and still score goals, or like I'm here for it. Compared to that, like Brian Hill, like he's just I don't know. For me, end product, big question mark, and strength as well on the ball.
Look, no, I agree. Look, we're going to go for another 25 more minutes. I want to move on to Thursday night, midweek, under the lights at the Lane. Spurs play West Ham.
I just seen the time. Certain touch. I need to go, bro. I've got a show later on at 9.
Okay. Oh no, cheers. Thanks for coming on, Stel. Absolutely, guys. Go over. Make sure you subscribe to Tottenham Away. Get over there now and make sure you subscribe to them, guys. Cheers. Thanks, Stel, for coming on. Cheers, mate.
When this show ends, come to us. When this show ends,
there you go.
You're all invited to come on as well. Just message me if you want a link. I'll send you the link. Big up.
Cheers, mate.
Right.
Peace out. Thanks, mate, for coming on.
Take care.
Thanks, Stel, for coming on. Let me just do a quick change up. We go boom, and then we go boom, and then we go Hang on. I normally do it in succession very quick. There you go. Look at that. We're back to 4 people. Look at that. Just magic. Like Christmas special. Look, guys, I said we're going to go for another 20 minutes or so. I want to talk about West Ham. Drew today against Crystal Palace. I think Alex made a point about saying that we have to go and beat them. Now, I want to hear your thoughts, guys. Everyone, let me know your thoughts. Alan, I'll start with you. West Ham's got to be a win now, right? We've got to. It's all well and good getting a good point today, but we can't not drop points to West Ham now. Injuries or no injuries.
Look, I mean, as far as I'm aware, nobody got a suspension or anything like that. We have Romero back, so it's 3 out of the... It's not 3 out.
Stronger team, right?
3 out of the back four with a keeper. You've got Basuma. I'm trying to think of the core. You probably have Kula still be in the middle. Maybe not. Lo Celso, who's doing well, and I'm not a Lo Celso fan, but I think he's done well since he's been given his chance. It's a stronger team. You would expect at home, considering the way we played, that we will be going straight for them. So after this performance today, you have to... I'll always want to win, but there's no way you can really sit here and go, we'll take a point now, because we're starting to get back to having as many...
I think we're going to beat West Ham, if I'm honest. I
expect, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I expect we can't go, we still got this out and that out. No. We've put in that performance against Man City. We've put in the performance against Villa, just didn't take our chances. Apart from the Wolves game, which wasn't an Ange-type performance, I see us only getting better from here. And for me, anything other than a win against West Ham is not good enough. You have to go and you have to now beat West Ham and give yourself every chance. No, is it West Ham next or is it Newcastle?
West Ham. Newcastle's on Sunday.
Okay, so yeah, you have to give yourself every opportunity to get points. And for me, a win is what we need. You can't, if it's anything other than a win, then it's not going to be a good result for Spurs. It's got to be a win.
I agree. Alex, let me know your thoughts. You mentioned it earlier that we've got to be beating West Ham. I believe you're going to stand by that, but do you see this team's going to get better in the sense of quality? Romero's coming back, so it's one player coming back that's a stronger team than the team we see today. For me, it's a must-win game, right? Must win.
It's a must-win game. It's a difficult game, I will say that. But after watching West Ham today against Crystal Palace, they've got defensive mistakes. They've got mistakes in them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but they can beat us as well. And it's a different game to Man City. But again, I don't think I need to hear excuses about injuries. You know what I mean? We need to stop this injuries thing, because like I said before, Newcastle have got an injury crisis as well, and they still don't moan, and they're playing in Champions League. So, I just think for me, I agree with you what you're saying. It's going to be a, we need to win this game. I do agree with you. What I will say is that it's, we can't take them lightly. Kudus is a very good player, you know what I mean? And Bowen's going to be a problem. They've got players that can hurt us 110%, and it's a London derby, and it's really doesn't matter to West Ham fans to beat us. But at the same time, it's a must win, I would say, because of I think we need to get back to winning. I think the good thing is about the Man City game today is that since we've been taking the lead the last couple of games, we've lost the games. We stopped that rot now. You know what I mean? So that's a positive in that sense as well. It's a game that we might have to learn from. It might be a game that we have to learn from as well. I think ultimately, to answer your question, we need to win the game. That's it, really, for me.
Yeah.
You do realize when I mentioned injuries, I wasn't making an excuse. I just said we're getting.
I wasn't saying it back on you. I wasn't. You know what? I wasn't even saying it at the back of you. You know what, Alan? I wasn't even thinking about what you're saying. Yeah, you know what? I'm very. Sometimes I can try it. Sometimes with you. Sometimes, you know what I mean. You know what I'm like. But yeah, I didn't even say it at the back of what you said. Actually, no.
You're trying to make yourself known, Alex, and it's not working. You're not box officing.
Oh, Or
It's always going to be like this between me and Alan. It's always going to be like this. You know what I mean?
it always is. Ash, I'm going to ask the sort of same question to you as well. Look, West Ham now midweek, Thursday night football under the lights. Is this going to be the most important game to get us back on track now? Yeah, look today, great result today, great point. But I think the West Ham game now becomes so important to get us back on track, because what you don't want to undo all the good work today and the come fight back today to then lose to West Ham at home. You don't want that. So is this an even bigger game now against West Ham?
I think the important thing is, like, if we've learned anything from today, it's not to play the occasion, it's to play the game. And it's whether these players have the mentality and the right mindset to actually just, you know what, we're just going to play our own football and we're just going to get on with it no matter what, because the first half and the second half were night and day. So saying that, West Ham will give us a different set of problems that we got to untie. We've got to unpack different scenarios with West Ham. West Ham are going to be more low block. Traditionally, throughout the season, we have struggled a bit with a low block. However, Aston Villa showed me something different, especially in that first half, especially when Emery set Aston Villa out in a defensive low block, I felt at times, and we had to play through them. So that gives me confidence. Set pieces, though, they do worry me. Aston Villa did score from a set piece, and West Ham, that is one of their strengths. Corners, free kicks. To be fair to Spurs, we haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've actually conceded from many corners this season.
No, we haven't conceded one at all from corners.
Exactly. So
they actually had that up on the graphic on the game today, that we've not conceded from a corner.
That's why I threw it out there.
We have from a free kick, though, we did today, but
yeah, I know the free kick. Yeah, the free kick is 2 free kicks now. Villa being the other one. So yeah, set pieces are our weakness. We need to learn to defend from that. But I think Ange is going to want to focus on getting those players in the right mindset to focus on the next game, which is West Ham, getting them playing the football that we know we can play. I thought Doggy today didn't have a bad game, to be fair. I mean, there was times where I thought, oh, you know,
I panicked the second he got. Here we go. You know, when he got booked, in my head, I was going, here we go again. Here we go again.
But then actually, he picked himself up, similar to
he did actually, in fairness.
Arsenal game, similar to the Arsenal game when he picked up that yellow card from early against Saka, and then all of a sudden he just kind of upped his game. I felt that's what happened off the ball and on the ball as well. And I think he picks up really good positions on the pitch. And if actually we can find him, there was one bit when he was actually offside, and I thought, oh, is he on through? And he kind of tries to cross it in. I think Son's free or something, and the keeper kind of saves it, but the linesman flags it anyway. But I just think the Doggy, I just think he's just, every game he's growing with more confidence, he's understanding a little bit more. And I'm glad that both him and Porro, offensively anyway, are like trying to outdo each other, because it kind of reminds me of the old school Kyle Walker and Danny Rose when they were trying to outperform each other in terms of attacking performances. Like, I remember Danny Rose always used to say, I always try to up my game because Walker, he's trying to show me up. So I kind of like that kind of, you know, energy between the two fullbacks that they want to impress in front of the gaffer. And I agree with what Phil said earlier. I do feel like every player is on trial, and you're kind of playing for your place, not just the next game, but for next season as well. And hopefully that shines through. The more you play your own game and you play with confidence, that's what managers want to see. They want to see guys that aren't scared to like, actually, you know what? I'm going to get the ball. I might make a few mistakes, but I'm going to keep on going. If you've got that mentality, then we'll be fine. We'll blow West Ham away because we're technically better.
Ash, on that point then, I'll follow up then. Are there any players that you would say have earned a right? When I say earned a right, I'm not talking about the ones we've signed, because I think a lot of the ones we've signed have been good enough and they're going to be part of the core members of the team. But any of the players that we all kind of went, they can be binned off. Have any of them made you feel, and by the way, it's not just you, it's not anyone answer this, you can all answer this one. Is anyone that you've gone, do you know what, maybe he's got a future at this football club?
Yeah.
God. Anyone, go for it. It's not for anyone.
I'll say Kulu. Lascelles, I've still got questions.
No, but Kulu's, I wouldn't put Kulu. We just signed Kulu this summer.
Oh, we just signed Kulu
in the summer. So I'm talking about the likes of Royals, the Davises, like the
No.
Lo Celsos, all of these, like the Skips, Højbjergs.
I'm not a fan of these. I haven't been. I don't think he's done enough for Spurs. But under Ange, when he's been given his chance, look, I think Lo Celso's done well. I think he's making a question.
Yeah, 2-2 now.
2-2. Decent performances in both. If I'm being honest, anyone else that's been here for a while, I just don't think have done enough to make a manager go, yep, they're in my plans. I think the only one you can really say that about is the Celso, but then is too little too late for him anyway. But if it's anybody, it's Lo Celso. And I'm not a fan of Lo Celso. I'm not, he's not done. I hear all the arguments how he does it for Argentina. He does it. He's done it in Spain.
I hear that all the time. He's never done it at our club. But the 2 games, he's not done it consistently. Like, it's all well and good him doing it today, but I want to see him doing it over 5, 6, 7 games, not one or 2 games.
Can I answer the question by just saying nobody?
You can answer anything, Alex.
No, I'd say nobody then, because in the day, Lo Celso, unfortunately, Lo Celso, what's coming up right now, January? So what is he playing for? A move, I think. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I can't not think that anymore with him. You see what I'm saying?
Will the manager offload him? So this is the question, right? And listen, as we're to believe, the manager made it very public when he said, I decide who comes in and out, right? He made it public. He said that I make the final decision. Now, here's the question, right? With the situation we have right now, does Ange Postecoglou let the likes of Lo Celso go in January? For me, I don't see him going in January. I think potentially in the summer, because as in the summer you can get rid of him and then replace him. But I'll be amazed, and I'll say it now, I'll be amazed if Lo Celso is one of the players that gets sold. Not saying that I want him to stay, because Perchy, I think he's one of those players that needs to go as well. But I'll be amazed if he gets Lo Celso leaves in January.
Look, if he carries on his trajectory, I don't think you can. I think this, I know it's so early, but the last 2 games, if they're anything to go by, he scored 2 and 2. What we even talking about here? 2 and 2. Like, who would have?
Ash, the point I'm making is
there's no buts about it. He arguably is one of our best players. Both games.
Ash, how long did it take him to make himself known? You see what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, because a lot of people were against Lo Celso, and a lot of people don't.
What month are we coming into? What month are we coming into? We got December. What month are we coming into?
But I'll be real. Listen, he was playing for. If you're playing for a defensive manager and you're being played out of position, and you're like, "Raw, I'm meant to be playing higher up. I'm meant to be playing higher up." Like, look how he's how he walks the ball. He just looks technically, he just suits, he fits like a glove.
Ash, my guy, Bob.
There's a reason why what's his name? Emery said, yeah, I want this also. I think I could do something with him. And I think it depends on the coach. Certain coaches can get the best out of certain players. Certain coaches, they're just not built for certain players. Like, remember, Conte, he wanted Skip and he wanted Højbjerg. He didn't want Lo Celso. He didn't want to take players. He didn't want Madison. Remember when Madison
he was playing for Mourinho, though, bro. He was playing for Mourinho. He was playing really well.
But
he was playing well for Mourinho.
Defensive manager.
But bro, we can't make excuses like this, because then we're going to start saying, okay, so shall we just get Dele Alli back then and get back the years of Dele Alli? Yeah, should we just get back that then? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I can't do this.
I'm not talking about players that we've already sold to get them back. I'm talking about what we have. He asked the question: is there any player do you think that can stay past the summer?
That was the question. Listen, I don't think Alice is advocating to keep him. He's saying if there was anyone,
if it's anyone,
players.
He was brought in from Pochettino. Sorry, he was an attacking manager. He was brought in for that reason. We were losing. I'm not saying he's on the level of Ericsson, but he was brought in to create and make opportunities for the team. And he was like, yeah, I want this guy. I want, and he's an attacking manager. All of a sudden, Mourinho comes in and changes the system and goes for I want a 1-0 win, and we're just going to stink out the game. I don't care about how many touches you have the ball. I don't care about having possession. I want us to have 1-0, no possession. That means what? Lo Celso, I don't think there's any space for you. Do you know what I mean? And he gets dropped. So what are you meant to do? Like, if a manager doesn't fancy you, he doesn't fancy you. I don't know. I could be wrong. Look, I'll put it out there.
Look, Ash, you make some good points, yeah, and it's because you're my guy. I know what you're like. You do
You're
convince
always
me well.
Ash's guy. You never go on Perchy's guy. God, I just
Yeah,
They're jealous. I don't say no more, bro. They don't like it.
yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. Yeah, and it's coming with some love. Yeah, what you're saying, but I'm an old school guy, and I'm sorry. You need to do more. You need to do it more. Yeah, because if I'm going to criticize people like Fernandes for Manchester United, yeah, and other players that are playing for other clubs as well, you know what I mean? And you know what? I might have to get off the whole horse of calling Haaland the above average John Carew. I might just do it for
I think you should have got off it a long time ago.
You know what I mean? Because because he does create. He does create because he did create for Grealish, didn't he? And he did create for that that he did help towards that Phil Foden goal as well. But the point I'm making is that I think the Celso needs to do more. But if we're just going on the first two games, the last two games,
that's what I was saying.
I hear what you're saying, but knowing me, I need longer than that, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? After how long he's been here for,
I know.
And it's excuses. I think the problem is with players right now, they make excuses that they're playing for a defensive manager. Yeah, fair enough. You've got to be defensive, but the fact is, yeah, you know your core. You know exactly your fundamentals as an attacking player. Yeah, and you if you know your fundamentals, you should be able to show that. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why he got shit off on loan because he weren't interested in playing for Tottenham. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? I think
I get
a player in that is fundamentally who can play the Ange system, right? Okay,
there's the key.
You know, if you can do that with the data-led approach we're doing, because at the end of the day, I've heard so much about Daniel Levy. I'm sorry, we don't need to hear about Daniel Levy. We've got Scott Munn now. Yeah. So if Daniel Levy is getting involved, why get in Scott Munn? Yeah, because you're trusted in Scott Munn to do your football thing right now. You see what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. Perchy, you my guy. Perchy, my guy.
Yeah, thank you.
The point I'm making is that if you can get a player in that can do what is competent in that system, let the Celso go because he's angling to leave. Because why is he playing well for Argentina and he's not turned up for Tottenham for how many years? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's no
excuses.
Fair point.
And again, this is not having to go at Ashmatic because you make some very good points. You make some really good points, by the way. Yeah, but I'm sticking to my values, and that's it. Back to you, Perchy. I'm done.
I was gonna say
he's done. Go on.
One more thing. Sorry to interrupt you, Perchy. I was just gonna say I think with Angepostecoglou, it's not about necessarily the players, because regardless of the players, it's about the system. So whoever goes into that actual system, he's going to play a certain brand of football. And I think as fans, we often think of the individuals and we home on them a lot. I do understand that individuals do bring equality, but for me, it's about the system and it's about Ange and how brave he is about playing this sort of this style of football. But yeah, sorry, go on, Alan or Perchy.
No, I was just going to sort of wrap up because it's coming to 9 o'clock, and obviously I'm going to send you over to Henry and Co. I just want to ask one more question. Actually, I'm going to ask two questions, and they're quick fire ones. Firstly, I'll start with you, Alan. I'll work my way round and come back to me and then ask my next question. January, if you were to sign one player, realistic signing, and why, who would it be?
Just Hart on the wing. I think that would be the best because he knows Ange's style. He's played for Ange before. I think that's where, if you're going to bring Kulu in the middle with the injury still that may not be back until like mid or at the end of January, have an extra winger that can go at a fullback rather than cutting in all the time. And then you probably stick Kulu into the middle, beef up the middle of the park as well. Yeah. It's one of them where I think he's the most obvious answer to go into this Spurs squad.
Yeah, Ash, I'll let you go next, mate. One signing and why?
I'm looking at a centre back option. I agree with Alan. We do need a winger, but at the same time, I'm scared if those defenders, I want to see more protection. So I would go for a centre back. I think we're linked with this guy called Todibo, but I know he's linked. I know a lot of players.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good player, but
I know a lot of teams are
pleased
looking
if
at
we get
him.
him.
So, but
Yeah,
I'm
is that who you going with?
Yeah, just a centre back.
Oh, God. Fair. Yeah, I agree. I think centre half's important. Alex, one player and why? We need you're in charge to sign someone. Who are you getting in?
Centre half. I think
you're going to stick with like the Todibo, or is anyone specific?
I mean, I don't. I'm not as well knowledge as what Ash has done, because he's looked at lots of players. I haven't done, but I just think we need a centre back. That can compete with Van der Ven and Romero. So because I don't agree with having them as starting centre backs all the time. I think you need competing, and that's it. I think the winger. I think the winger is important as well. I've got to be honest as well, because I don't think Kulu's a winger. Gil needs to leave. For passes new. I think the wingers that we've got are not great. I've got to be honest. Johnson has just started, so I can't really judge him, even though he's I've described him as the below average Jamie Vardy. I think we do need a striker that can score goals, compete with Son as well. But I think the most important thing is the centre back, and that's it. Just to answer your question, Perchy, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna follow you guys down the bottom. I'm going centre half. Look, I'll go a little bit outside of the realms and go someone like a Joachim Andersen. Will we be able to convince someone like that from Palace? I like him as a centre half. I think he's good. Todibo's a good centre half. For me, I think we need to be looking at a big time centre half. And none of this, I don't want to hear all the stuff about, oh, well, they're going to play second fiddle to Romero and Van der Ven. No, I want someone that comes in and goes, I'm having their place. And then we have to figure out a way, like, if it means you put the likes of Van der Ven at left back, bring in another centre half, whatever, I think you've got to go and get a big centre half in, because I think the drop off from what we've got at the moment to what at the moment it's like that. I also agree, striker, I think someone like a Santi Jimenez from Feyenoord will be a no-brainer if you get someone like that in. And Alan's point of Jota, he's worked under Ange. I'm sure he'd like to come to the Premier League. Guys, we're going to finish up in a second. Last quick fire question. Score predictions for West Ham United at home on Thursday night. Alan, we'll start with you. Give me a prediction.
2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs, like it. Ash?
3-1 Spurs.
All right.
Alex?
Alan, don't get used to this. Don't get used to this. Really, don't get used to this. 2-1 Spurs, same as Alan.
See, I'm gonna go and agree with Ash. I'm saying 3-1 Spurs as well. I think the two of us, I think it's right. I think we're gonna win 3-1. It'll be nice for us to get a clean sheet. It'll be really, really nice for us to get a clean sheet, because I feel like it feels like forever since we last had one. I think it was Fulham was the last clean sheet. But yeah, listen, it's all good. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on, by the way. Absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed that. Guys, make sure you go over to Time Added On, Southview Coys, and go over to Alex THFC on Mr. Box Office TV. Make sure you go and subscribe. Guys, before you leave, also, please smash the like button on your way out. Please also subscribe here. We're on the road to it. I will continue the Christmas tradition that we're doing every day. Every day, if we get 50 subscribers in a day, or whatever day it is, I'll give away a mystery shirt. We missed it by about 22 today, so we were close, but we'll go again tomorrow. If you get 50 subs in a day, throughout a day, I will give away a mystery shirt on that day. So please, thank you very much. And make sure you go over and watch the Advent calendar, because we're doing the Advent calendar. Advent calendar will be out tomorrow morning. Me and Sava will be talking about our favorite number 4s. See who's going to be in there. Listen, thank you very much. On that note, great result today. Have a good one. Don't know what that is. Thank you very much, guys, and have an absolute lovely evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow or whenever. There'll be stuff going on. Guys, thank you very much for coming on. And on that note, thank you very much. We will see you later. If I can find the button.
Ash is my guy.
Bye, guys. Ciao.